No, no, you don't get off that easy. It's like me, I must have done something bad, really bad in the previous life.
Because after this, we really just have reports.
Why do I do this?
And
I don't
they
know.
want us to go.
Because she's going, I could be at home right now with my wife in the hot tub. I could be at home.
I've seen it millions of times all over the state.
You got up there and you said it. I can see it. And you gave us all the reasons to hire you. So you asked for it. Sorry. I think, I do say that. I think there were some other very good candidates. Yeah, I mean, it's like.
It's all the major law firms.
Yeah,
And they're all,
I think something good. So I guess the reason I'm saying it is because it's bad.
So Dave did say that you cannot serve on P&Z and any subboard. So I did look that up. So I will mention it, but I don't want to just like go out and say, warning, we're doing this thing. But you might say that I will ask him just.
I'm done after this. Okay.
I'm going to ask Dave in front of everybody just to make sure. Because I just want to make sure, because I didn't want to like have you on one board and then you say, I want to be on this one. You get stuck on the original one.
You should, Dave. Just go ahead and just have. Can we order pizza?
Also, I don't know. P&Z, you have to own property.
Can we order?
I don't know if you have to have.
It wouldn't look good,
No?
I don't know if you have to own property to be on
I
P&Z.
thought they had pizzas in here one time.
Yeah, they
That makes sense.
Maybe that was another.
You have to own
meeting.
property to be on P&Z. I don't know if you have to own property to be on a subboard of P&Z. So it may or may not affect Kathy. So that's what I'm gonna find out. That's why I got 2 questions to ask. Do it in public.
So we really need to find out whether somebody can really speak.
So I
separately or not.
looked it up.
Okay.
So this is where I was crossing. After Mr. Carson said.
I didn't want to lengthen the meeting, but I would have had a mess here.
Yeah,
A lot longer.
I'm glad you did.
He said yes.
Need to have a time limit on this.
The TML
And I know the board's part of
says
it,
that
but
as long as you give them
Yeah, we need
the
a.
citizen comment, the opportunity to speak on the
that's
agenda,
what I'm thinking.
then likely not.
Is there one?
report
Is that what's
bad
question? I thought it
numbers.
was
Midnight?
No.
So
No,
you
I was told when Claude was mayor, the meeting just went until 11:30.
On whether or not she had been
No,
given the
you
opportunity
can
to
motion,
speak
I
on
think
the
it's
item.
a meeting after, but you can-
Yeah, but we're so close. We're like 20 minutes away if we all sit down and get. this
Right.
stuff through.
I don't want to rush through everything. Just
Well, there's nothing left to rush through other than the thing.
So you can bring right to
Yeah, thanks.
I said, you can speak on item G, but you have to
It's
do
all
it
your fault.
during the.
Oh, we get to pick on this.
Right.
So then this is not, I thought we were doing potholes, so this is, these are road.
We ready?
Hey, Dave, I got a question. This is like pothole stuff, right? Road section
coming out.
tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, it's on there. Did I miss? I must have.
No, it's not. It's in my staff. It's in my staff
Okay,
report.
okay, that's why I was like, I don't remember seeing anything about roads, and it's like, I see this is roads, but I don't remember reading anything about potholes and road design.
Yeah, we talked about pocket water and we had $400,000.
Yeah,
But I don't know if this is extra on top of that or not.
I think this is, I don't know. Let's-
All right, Joan, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Ready for the
Sorry.
city manager.
Item P.
discussion.
No, we got, we're 8P. We gotta pick some, board
We
members.
just hit P.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the fun part.
Yes, ma'am.
Discuss and take action to appoint members of the Old Town Preservation Advisory Board.
Dave, got two questions for you. One of them is, can you serve on 2 boards
Yes,
on the P and Z and on a P and Z subboard?
the charter says you can serve on more than
I think you can.
2 boards.
Okay. 'Cause-
Matter of fact, look it up.
And you,
Do you
to
know
serve
what
on
section
a,
it is?
and to serve on the P and Z subboard, you have to own property.
I don't.
Nah, I don't
No.
think so.
You have to have property that you start on P&Z.
I mean,
On
P and Z.
P&Z.
P and Z, you have to have property, right?
But if it's a P and Z
Yeah.
subboard, you're still technically, like,
Boards
What's
and
that board?
commissions.
it's,
Individuals may be appointed to serve on more than one board, commission, or committee. The city council may by ordinance consolidate the functions.
So you can be on more than one board.
You
What
can
section
be.
is it? Yeah,
Okay.
it's always been in the chart.
Well, I thought you couldn't, because I couldn't like be on the P and Z and the appeals board. That's what they told me. I
Maybe they're
couldn't.
too closely.
You can't be on what?
I didn't think you could be on like P and Z and the appeals board. Because it just says right there, I guess you can.
It doesn't specify what kind of board, does it, Dave? No?
Okay.
Okay, Old Town Committee.
Sorry, Barney, I was wrong. That's why I asked.
Okay. How many we got?
We have
Oh, a
a
whole bunch.
bunch. And I didn't get information on all of them, but I
No,
assumed
I-
all of them
I-
applied.
One,
I
two,
asked,
three, four,
I
five,
asked,
6, 7, 8, 9.
I asked
There's the back to the
Francesca,
second page.
yeah, I asked Francesca and she said that she had problems scanning them and then Molly, and so she's been gone. So
Okay,
they never got scanned.
okay.
So there's a lot of people who are missing their
From that
applications.
list, there's people missing?
No, so.
Yet there's,
We need
Their
to
application. So Francesca, I asked it, said, Francesca, my application's not in here. And she said, well, she's having problems scanning.
Okay,
And
we're
then-
missing some applications, but we have the full list of names.
we have the
Correct.
full list of
Okay.
names.
That's,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess I'll just start what I think.
Okay.
Old Town Committee, place 1, Kathy Fulton, 2, Carl Corky Moore, who is a preservation builder. 3, Mallory Kalaja. 4, Bruce Clark. 5, Elizabeth Shumate, alternate Barney Farley.
I'm sorry, who was it after me?
I'm sorry, he was the.
Elizabeth
Elizabeth, thank you.
Shumate, and alternate Barney Farley. Okay,
All right, who's
And
next?
that's the place numbers because some are only a 1-year term
right,
and some are a 2-year term.
right,
Just want everybody to notice that.
right. Anybody have a
And
different
so Joan, are yours just in order? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yep.
Okay,
and alternate?
okay,
I have something different.
okay, go ahead, Joanne.
1, Kathy Fulton, 2, Barney Farley, 3, Mallory Kay.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hold up, okay, 3,
Mallory,
4.
3.
Pat Cocklenberg,
Pat,
and 5, Jill
Okay.
Rodnex. And then you can put Bruce Weaver as the alt.
Bruce Weepert is alt, okay? All right, who's next?
Anybody else have opinions?
Well, I didn't make a list because I thought I was on it, and so I thought that would be best
Yeah,
for me
probably.
to not
David,
make-
you ready?
Sure, I can, think I'll go with Kathy. Same list as Joe, with the exception, I'll go with Corky, and I will nominate our friend Bruce Clark. How about that?
Okay, so
Who was your alternate, David?
Bruce Clark,
Okay, Bruce is.
So Corky Moore
yes.
Corky Moore, and you're going with,
in 4? Where?
That's just kind of name them.
so
off,
it's
right?
Kathy, Barney, Mallory, Pat, and then Corky instead of Jill?
Oh,
Thank
you
you.
give Corky instead of Jill?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all.
Jill Broad next.
And you did select Barney, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I hope you got some way of keeping this track.
I think I'm already messed up.
I'm already messed up. I'm messed up.
Got it.
All right,
We can-
okay,
we
good,
can-
good.
We can,
All right.
Only friend we're here.
The no food in my stomach. I'm starting to.
I'm the same way.
This chocolate's just not doing
All
it.
right, Tina, you ready?
Yes, sir. Barney Farley, Kathy Fulton, Corky Moore.
hang on. Barney, Kathy, Corky.
Uh-huh.
and that's in your place order?
Yes.
Okay.
Pat Cocklenberg, Mallory, and then alternate Bruce Clark.
You get 5 and 1 alternate.
Yes, that's it. She's got them.
Oh, is that what you did? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we're down to Tim.
We'll go with Barney, Kathy, Pat, Jill. That's what, 4?
You're
That's
4.
4, okay. And then Mallory, and then Corky as alternate.
And then Bruce, are you
I'm
abstaining?
going to abstain from this. Do you need a list of all the people?
Hold up, let's see. I got, so definitely Kathy,
And I think Barney's also.
definitely Mallory, definitely
Definitely.
Barney.
Corky Moore, definitely.
So
Corky got 3, and then Corky got 3 and an alternate, and Pat got 3. Am I counting? How many did Pat get? 4. Pat got 4.
Corky got 1,
Wait,
Okay, so
2,
Pat,
3, 4. He got 4. Didn't he?
okay,
Some
so
put him as
who's,
an alternate. Some put him as an alternate.
okay, so who's the 1, 2, 3? So I got 5 so far. Who is gonna be?
Well, I'll go Corky as an alternate.
Well, I think if you did Pat and Courtney too, that's 5. And then you pick somebody as an alternate. All of the people.
Yeah, all the top 4 the top 4 vote getters.
You've got 5 people that got 4 or more,
Oh, that's right.
and then you pick an alternate.
So Kathy, Mallory, Barney, Pat, and Corky are the top 5 vote getters.
Okay.
And then we need an alternate.
When Bruce Clark. He got 1,
Bruce
2,
got
3,
2
4.
alternates.
Well, Jill
He was the
got
one that
2
got the most.
also.
Bruce got the most votes after everybody else. He got 3.
Why
You
don't we
got
just
what?
go-
1 vote and 2 alternates.
Why don't we just go through the names now and everybody say this or no or something like that?
Well,
Would
we
that
need
be
to make
easier?
sure we get the right, that we get the
Yeah.
2-year terms and the 1-year term.
So Jill got 2 votes and Bruce got 2 alts and a regular vote.
And Corky got 2 alternates.
Yeah, he's already,
He had 2 alternates.
oh, he just got 2 in a vote? I thought he got
3 and an alternate.
3 and 1
3 and an
alternate.
alternate?
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's definitely one of the 5.
So it's just between Jill's 2 regular votes or Bruce's?
Yeah, so how do you guys want to weigh that? Jill's 2 regulars versus Bruce 2 alts and 1 regular.
Well, I'd vote for Bruce to go in there.
I'm gonna vote for Jill.
Okay, we'll just do a up or down, Bruce or Jill. Tim,
Jill,
okay, Tina,
Bruce.
David,
I'll go with Jill.
Jill, Joel.
Bruce.
I did Jill.
What did that end
1,
up?
2,
So
3.
three
to
Jills,
2.
3 Jills and 2 Bruces.
3 Jills and 2
Okay.
Bruce.
Okay, so Jill it is. So Jill's the alternate,
Sorry, Bruce.
It's fine.
That one nice.
and we'll just go, just to keep this.
Oh, well, mine was Bruce
I
Reaper.
don't even know Jill.
No, but they're still,
Okay, yeah,
still,
okay,
Yeah, I didn't even know Jill, did you know?
I do.
I do.
Okay, so can we put Kathy in 1? I'm just going down the line. Can we put Mallory in 2? Barney in 3? I'm just going down the line, you guys. If you don't want to do that, just let me know. Pat in 4, Corky in 5, and then Jill and the
Okay.
alternate.
Okay,
You guys have any problem with that?
no,
So just a quick question. So
Yeah.
if Corky should win, the alternate would step into his position?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
we'd appoint an alternate at some
Yeah,
point later
yeah.
on? Okay.
okay.
okay,
Just one clarification.
all right.
You should have voted.
Next item.
that's fine.
City manager report, right?
No, I think there's,
Oh,
Fire-
discuss.
no, fire EMS, where's Darla?
Okay. Possible action on funding for the rebuild of the fire EMS station.
So in your packet, we have a kind of a white paper talking about different fire EMS station scenarios. If you read staff recommendation, we're recommending to stay our current course with FEMA. And hopefully we should have more information in October. And the reason we say this is because right now we have on the plate the demo and the bids for the police station. And if you know, all of our available reserves that we have are going to pay for that police station because we want to get that done. And when we get the bids, we'll know where we're sitting financially. The FEMA fight, we have some bullets there about what that timeline process would look like. We're currently recosting the repair versus replacement on the fire station, which was requested by FEMA. Then That attorney is going to submit that completed cost within the next 45 days. Traditionally, FEMA has been sitting in that on 120 days, and I'm saying traditionally during this Harvey storm, that's what they've been doing is about 120 days. But by their policy, they really only have 90 days to do that. But we wanted to give you a realistic timeline. They've really been taking 120 days for that. Based on the reasoning and the determination memo, we believe that these steps are going to get us on the first appeal level versus having to go to arbitration like we did with the public safety building. So we're a little bit more confident. Then when we get those bids by October, we should know a little bit more financially where we have. Because even with bonding, we gave you some bonding scenarios.
Yeah, we did talk with Mark McCliney.
Mhm.
He sent us, Darla, why don't you go over what he sent us and our
It's
discussion with him?
to bond and not become I might say it backwards, bank qualified, you have to stay under $10 million within a year. We've already done approximately $1 million that we just did for the parking. Or no, it wasn't for the parking. What was it
For road.
Pardon?
What road two?
1B.
Or 1B.
Correct.
Sorry, 1B.
Correct, the road
Oh,
one
yeah,
B.
yeah, yeah.
And so consequently, we only have 9 million available really in our bonding capacity this year, unless we went into bank qualified, which is going to give you not as good an interest rate and that type of thing. So he did a scenario on what your tax rate would look like on another 9 million. These are always just estimates and they're conservative in your growth. And he gave you those, you're looking at about 0.07 cents in debt service. And right now you're looking at 5.5 cents in debt service. So it'd be around a 1 cent, 1.5 cent adjustment. So
I don't want to be here all night, but one of the comments he said, sorry, well, I'll be quick. He said that if we were going to adopt this, we'd have to adopt it now before we set our rate for the thing. Can you explain that? Because otherwise, he said your rate would go down, then it would jump up.
right. So tax calculation is kind of complicated, but when you're going through periods of large appraisal growth, your tax rate drops because you can only go up so much on your
Dollar amount, yes.
dollar amount of revenue collected, only up over a certain percent of what you collected in the prior year. And so if you don't have any debt that you issued that year, your tax rate is going to drop. And then when you add debt the next year, your rate's going to go back up.
Well, okay, just that
Kind of trying to-
didn't seem the way he kind of explained it, but that's fine.
Dave, is the 10 million for the fire EMS, is that a lot more because of construction costs or?
Yeah, it's gone up a whole bunch. I mean, when we initially were thinking 5 to 6 million, that was back in the 350 days, and now we're like hitting the $500.
Well, because when Max said it's about double, it was at 2 something and now it's at 4.
Yeah,
So is
yeah.
there,
So the numbers are,
right.
construction cost numbers are
And
astronomical.
just
Now-
to state,
You could go a different route. I mean, that is a brick and mortar building that's going to be a lot more expensive.
Could we
I
do a
mean,
tilt wall or something like the?
I think you almost have to get into the steel building construction to where you start seeing any type of cost savings. You know, so you can do a combo where maybe you do steel building for the large fire station that has all the bays, and you could put a veneer, you could put like a rock veneer on a lower part of it and dress it up nice and make it look.
You do a metal building with a stucco side. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you, just because I'm looking into this, metal buildings are not as cheap as you think they are
Yeah.
anymore. So it's still crazy
So, and
expensive.
then next door, you could do the more expensive EMS building with the upstairs living units and so you could, there are some cost savings
Yeah.
on that
So
$9 million building. You could probably, if you really engineered it and you went with a product that's not your, it's not like the building that we're building, for example, in the Harbor Master office. We got a lot of free money and it's a state-of-the-art building. It's LEEDs qualified.
So on the fire department side, is this planning that is, does this include sleeping quarters for?
Yes, it would be growth. Yeah,
So
Yeah.
if we go to a full paid fire department.
yeah.
It's.
This would be the start to that.
Okay,
And then you could build one more additional bay and it would have another 5 rooms up above it.
okay.
And so it would be years of growth capacity for
Okay.
a full-time fire department.
I just think we're getting almost, I mean, we're so far
Yeah.
out now and I know, I mean, we keep pushing off and I think this has just become a very important thing for the city. We keep growing. We've
Oh, yeah.
done, I mean, you know, I know we had flooring issues in the, you know, EMS building and, you know, I just.
Just
It
gonna
has
tell
been
you,
fixed.
wait till
I know.
everybody gets their tax
Uh,
appraisal. You're gonna have people with pitchforks coming up here telling you that
Yep.
they can't afford to live in here because I already know we got some and
I understand that.
holy something or other
I
have they
know.
gone up.
I fully understand that, but at the same time, you know.
Yeah, there's just no magic money.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no magic money like we came up with the police. You know, we got
But magic
lucky
if
with that.
FEMA would give it.
Well, and that's why right now, the recommendation from finance is definitely right now to stay the course with this building. Let's get the public safety started. But that's my recommendation.
Can we rob a bank or
As a
something?
finance.
So, I know
So,
how-
all right, so here's,
And we can't go up more than 3% on our tax rate, nor do I want to, because
And
that's,
my point would be, we have a lot of outstanding unknowns this time with the current public safety building, correct?
Right.
I mean, I would feel
what I'm
far
thinking.
more comfortable. I understand the
I
criticality
mean,
of doing it.
but that's the big thing I hear from citizens is, you know, look, I mean,
Now, there is work being done on the fire station
right.
all the time. I mean, it's under design.
No,
it's-
I'm not arguing that,
right?
but I mean, but I
I mean,
mean,
it's-
like,
I'm gonna tell you, Tim, this is the first thing, when we hired Brodus, he walked up and said, you know what? I want to temper your expectations. This is not gonna be a quick fix. We're not getting stuff done tomorrow. He said, so just put that out of your
I
mind.
know.
I know a lot of people think that we're just dragging our
Well,
heels,
and
but
we've made great progress. I mean, we're up to like 90 million in
I'm not saying we're
recovery
not
money.
making
And
For
in
some
six-
reason,
in
these
6 months, we'll
buildings,
have-
yeah,
Right,
these buildings
exactly.
have just been,
I think.
I mean,
yeah,
Exactly.
I'm at a loss. FEMA approves $36 million in gas system replacements. And they're just
Yeah.
dragging us through the coals on a
and piers.
$8
So-
and on an $8 million.
So let me ask you-
building.
So let me ask you this then. So come October,
uh-huh.
you know, we're still nowhere with the FEMA, let's say. Let's just use that as a scenario. Then can we come in and do the bond issue at that point?
We could always come back and we can always bring you the same
It
thing.
would be better next year, right?
Well, I
We
mean-
didn't just borrow a big bunch.
I mean, I don't want to put
Darla,
the city
what
in
is
debt.
our,
Like, I
um,
don't want to
No.
have like, we're
I
what
think
is- what
they
is-
just-
what
we
is our-
just can't do
to
that.
the
What is our
service
$10 million
thing.
calendar? Is it October 1 to September?
No, I think it's
Right now,
calendar
we don't
year.
know how much-
Or is it calendar year?
What did he say?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm willing to, I guess, postpone this until October, and in
We need to
October,
finish.
we reevaluate it.
Yeah.
But I think we need to be staying on top of this.
Oh, we are.
No, I know you, I
Yeah.
know, but I mean, I'm just saying that as a general, you know,
Stay on
Every-
top of FEMA. That's
Yeah.
what we
I mean,
need.
this is going to be our priority now
To
that,
get that.
police, public safety's underway.
Yeah.
At least, especially once we
can-
know how
yeah.
much that
So-
is, because there's a lot of
so
unknowns. right
do we
there
need
still.
to do anything? Okay, all right,
And that's going to give us a good square footage
Mhm.
estimate too. So
okay.
How many square feet is it? Fire?
16,000. So it's,
a lot bigger.
oh yeah, it's about another 4,500.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, bigger. And it's
Okay.
high tech too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it
A
mean?
lot of
Yeah,
ventilation, a
'cause
lot
all
of
that stuff's required now.
sleeping area.
So
It gets
tell me this one more time, and I've asked this because
Yeah.
I can't keep the number in my head. When we were talking about going, getting a lobbyist to use, South Padre, Galveston and us
Mhm.
have a special place.
Well, yeah, that was for hot tax purposes.
What is that?
Well, we haven't decided that.
No, I
You
mean.
know, what we could use
what
it for.
Is there a House bill or?
No. We would hire a lobbyist to
Craft the
draft a
bill.
bill.
Try to.
Yeah,
get
and then-
them to
Yeah,
Because we're the
So-
three cities.
Yeah,
that
you'd
can
craft
use
it,
that.
you'd hire
So
lobbyists.
The
and-
Texas legislature starts to file bills in October.
This October.
That's correct. And so you're right on point on creating a legislative agenda for the city and moving forward
We
with
need
that
to.
legislative.
But what do you want to do? You want to change sales tax to be used for what?
Use
So
hot
hot.
tax.
I mean, hot tax
So-
for what?
So
Increase its usage.
So we had,
Ability to
we had,
use it.
we had Paxton come here and said actually where Ms. Consterneo is. And we told him that we're paying 15% in hot tax and it's all going to just the Chamber of Commerce promote and
It
to
would-
think.
it
So
would amend the-
could we take 1% of that money and apply it to public safety or some other city
Yeah.
thing?
Hmm.
And he said, well, he didn't see a problem with that, although that, you know,
Because that's
what
what-
people say and what people do when he goes to his desk and he's gonna be like, hell no, you know,
Well, that's what Paxton was saying, try to go back to.
well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
Dave thinks that we might get pushback from the hotel.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely gonna wage war.
Well, we're not looking to raise the
But you would
tax.
get less pushback if you narrowly
Yes.
tailor it to a
Yeah.
specific.
To
Right, it would,
Barrier
it would be
islands.
to public, we'll say, but
Barrier islands.
the, from my saying, the hot tax would not go up. It would just be a percentage of that money would be pulled from the state and would go, would sit
No,
in.
no, 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 you're just expanding your allowable uses.
Yeah.
That's
So
all.
what
all
you're
you're
saying is
doing. Yeah.
correct. It would
And
just allow you to use it.
Money
for
doesn't
other
change.
But it's
Right.
Galveston, South Padre and us because we're barrier.
But we could
islands, and we're the
potentially
only three
then use it
cities in that,
For
right?
roads
Yeah.
or.
Well, I think it would have to
repairs
be, you would
or-
have to, again,
Hey,
if you
let's
want
stay
to
on track here.
I know, I agree. I'm gonna finish real quick.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, update on hiring a firm to assist in hiring an assistant city manager.
Oh, is that the next one?
I don't
I
know.
thought, did you miss, the road, State Highway 361?
No, that's after
Oh,
the,
okay.
No, this is
Firm is
our-
purchased.
our-
We are on 9, city manager report, nature
Oh.
preserve trail.
Okay,
Update on
so-
hiring a firm to assist in hiring an assistant city
So
manager.
we are gonna be using, we are using SGR, and I put a packet in here for you guys.
Okay,
And in this one here, City of Bernie, that's one of their examples. There's an example from City of Bernie.
In Portland.
And then I put up, they also had one assistant city manager in Portland that they filled in, I'm not sure what the timeline was. But this gives a good breakdown of what we'll get. So they'll,
You gave us.
yeah. They'll create a brochure for us. And it's a pretty high level of service of what they do. I mean, they'll do everything from, they just don't put the information out there. They're actively going out and not approaching people physically, but they're actually trying to recruit.
Calling people up.
Oh,
and
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
"Hey, come work for Port A."
They're going to be sending this brochure to ACMs and city planners all over saying, hey, look at this great job down in Texas. Anyway, so
So the contract's been
So
signed.
how
yeah,
much does it cost?
signed, and so
How much
we're
is it?
underway, so,
6,000?
yeah, I think right at 26.
And Dave, did they give you any idea how long it will take to find a suitable individual, at least some ideas? I mean, is this
The timeline is in there, but they did tell me that long-range planners and ACMs everything's tough right now. But it's, all their timelines are in there. I mean, it looks pretty aggressive.
okay, thank you.
Nature preserve trail overlook on State Highway 361.
Okay, so of course Colleen's on maternity leave.
Oh, such a cute baby.
I've been speaking with Ray. She's back in communication with TxDOT on that little chunk of funding that TxDOT kind of dedicated, which isn't going to be nearly enough. We're thinking we got a fresh engineer's estimate, 1.5 million. And we talked with, David, you brought it up. If you had like an overlook component in it, instead of just a sidewalk, could you possibly attach some hot tech? So we're trying to figure out what kind of percentage we could go with.
This is the bridge thing?
Well, this
It
is
would be
this,
yeah, it would be overlooked by the nature.
Joan, it's this little, on 361,
With
we're missing about 1,700 linear feet of, right now, the sidewalk ends at the wetland park.
Right.
And then, so we would be looking at creating this chunk of sidewalk right there.
I
So
saw
the-
pictures of what they did in Austin, and Austin did a very nice job on it, I thought. They have, and it's incredibly crowded there. I mean, a lot of people use it. It's part
It'd
of
be
their
wide enough
life.
for bicycles.
Oh, yeah, it'd be wide enough for bicycles. And then the idea was, probably if it's just straight sidewalk, it's a little bit harder of a sale to hit hot tax. But if you incorporated like some little overlooks in with your design, then, it makes it more palatable. So
You've got
Ray and
nice
them are-
wetlands there.
Ray and that crew are working on it.
Okay.
So we'll keep.
Thank you.
And then what we could do possibly is if you did have a little bit of hot text to throw at it, you could use that, take it out and use it as a match and try to leverage it and maybe get Parks and Wildlife or some other type of grant to come in and, Coastal Bend Basin estuaries or
They
a
come on
partner.
Shared use paths.
Yep, shared use, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
So it's moving. We're working.
Comp plan update.
You have all the dates coming up? Yeah,
Nope.
But it's
okay.
also about 2 hours past my bedtime, so,
Now you're gonna dream of fish tanks. huh?
Yeah.
yeah. So on May the 17th, we're having a meeting with the Capital Improvements Advisory Committee, which is also known to you as PINZ, to go over the impact fee studies. And that's kind of the first kickoff meeting to that. May the 18th, which is the day immediately after that, is our next comp plan meeting. Other than that, we
I
haven't
have
had
it
any
at
meetings
6.
since the last time, so there's
Having it at
not.
6 PM, is that?
Correct.
Okay.
That's the time that the committee decided that they wanted to have all of their meetings, was at 6 PM.
Huh.
That could change in the future, but that's what we have set now.
I
Now, the
remember
Capital
voting.
Impacts Advisory Committee, that meeting is scheduled, I believe, for 3 o'clock, 3 or 3:30. I don't.
Okay,
Ann Applin's name is missing off there.
She didn't fill out a form. You can't just show up today and
Oh,
apply.
that's right.
No, she mailed it in.
Did she?
That's
I
right. She
forgot about-
stood up at citizen comments.
Yeah, because she sent it in and she brought one in and forgot to sign it, and then she emailed it in with the signed copy to Francesca. It just dawned on me when
Oh.
you said the comp.
I know.
If Weston gets elected, she can go on alternate.
update on pothole project.
Okay, so this is your guys' handout, and this is kind of a homework assignment for you guys. So this thing consists of, this front page has it identifies each hot pothole. So each, and it's not necessarily a pothole, it might be alligatoring, cracks. I mean, it might look like a bunch of different types of damage. But we've surveyed all of these are surveyed in, so it's kind of an accurate. And so this is up to about 720K, so it's over about 300.
By the 400 that we.
Yeah, about the 450. Darla, what's our number in the street budget that we think we have?
I didn't bring my
Oh, yeah, it's like,
computer today,
I think it's around 450.
Okay.
So,
but I think it is around that.
So is there $300,000 somewhere that we could just?
Somewhere.
So what?
yeah,
I mean,
Well,
I mean, that's
No, we-
but let's do this. I'll keep working on finding some.
You get Jen?
But what I need you guys to do is so these are all the zones of the city. And they're pretty good, and it shows just the general layout, so it surveys in each one. It would be great if you guys could maybe pick a zone or something like South 11th, Old Town.
Sheet one.
Yeah, whatever.
And help me, because the only way I do it is I get in my car and I drive around. It takes forever. Yeah.
Each one of them.
Oh, yeah, so your list, Joelle, and it's on there, it's that last page.
Yeah.
So the engineers went over all those. Those were the ones Joellen did for me. But if you guys could, at least when you're driving around, go, wow, that's a crappy pothole, or that street
So
looks
basically-
horrible.
basically it's
Just
not-
keep this in your car.
I'm
Can we
sorry.
just mark all,
And
can we just
take
mark all the
notes.
good spots on the road instead of marking all the bad spots?
So two things, we'll bring it back to you guys. But if we don't find another 300K, we have to whittle this down.
Right.
So,
We need to prioritize this.
yeah, so I need you to think about, like, do you do 1A? 1A is all beat up. 1A is about 100. 1A is,
Quite a bit.
for example,
Yeah.
it's 120K. Do you do 1A or, what's your philosophy? Do you do the heavy impacted streets? Like, for the most part, we left a lot of 11th Street out because it's such a big, it's one of the ones that we're still trying to fight FEMA on. So we
guess
could have
my
used up all the money
philosophy-
just on 11th Street.
Paid it off.
Yeah,
I'll go do this. I give my philosophy just,
Yeah.
it would be to hit specific roads and finish all on that one road. I
Yeah.
think. And that might be, in my
Oh, and
opinion.
maybe
better
that-
that
I don't
you
know.
have it
That you
through.
hit the deepest potholes and you come back and hit the next deepest.
So then we don't have to go anywhere. 1A is probably.
anyway, so
Okay.
I'm gonna bring this back to you guys.
Mhm.
And if you could do a little priority work and a little field investigation, that'd be great. Just to
Okay.
at least be able to give me some feedback.
So Dave, I'm not gonna be here next meeting. Well, I'm gonna be here for like 5 minutes. Do you still want me to do?
Yeah, give me that and I'll give it someone. Well, if you can do it over the next,
Well, I mean, I can do some, but
just do it over the next month and give it
if
to
you,
me.
if you want, or if you
Yeah.
don't want it, I don't wanna.
No, you please help.
Sure.
What is this update on
No, I don't. I just. I'll do- I
renaming
can say
city
yes.
streets? What is that about?
What's that?
What about?
Oh, that is, oh, wasn't she on the list though?
No.
She was.
Schumatt?
Yeah, she was.
She was on the list.
I
We
nominated
just
her.
didn't know it was.
Also known as.
Oh. so
Oh,
she
that's
was
her
on the
name?
list.
Oh, shoemake. She put shoemake down.
Yep.
No, no, it didn't
So-
dawn on me.
So she was on the list. She just didn't get picked.
Well, I put her on. but nobody else did.
But we didn't know it was her.
Yeah.
Okay, update on renaming city streets. What is that? What's
That's the
this
same
about?
one we've already done.
Okay, update on implementing a beach perpendicular parking ordinance and signage.
Okay, signs are, we started, a lot of our signs are coming in. Right now, it's some of the more regulatory signs, your glass, your dogs and leashes. So we're doing all new stuff on the beach. Perpendicular signs are being made. We got 2 different signs.
Did
They're
you go
gonna-
with a good design?
I showed it around. I think it's a 4x4. It's gonna be, so we're doing all new entry signs. We're combining all the hodgepodge of signs at the entry onto one solid, framed, to get it all, and I know, Joel, we might redo everything eventually, but this is just a good fix to get us through this first summer.
Yeah, and I appreciate
So
that.
Oh, no.
so we have 2 signs. One has water on it because you got perpendicular parking on the bollards. So you need kind of a different sign for that. And then you have perpendicular parking just in front of the Gulf of Mexico where there are no bollards. So we have 2 different signs coming. But we should have everything up by May 1st.
Is this a special meeting till midnight for Bruce and me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Thank you.
Go out,
Yeah,
go out with
anyway.
a bang, right?
That's
Or a
it.
whimper.
Staff reports. Accounting, finance. Darla.
So you have my written report in the packet on the actual fund statements that you have. This looks how it's always looked because I think we got consensus that everything that was asked for is there.
Nice graph, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I just added, I've got the same data there. I just did add some bar graphs so that you can visually see those percentage increases too. And the only thing I did add was the golf cart sales. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, this really, I mean, it makes things more concise. And then we can go and look at the reports,
Well, I think it makes the harbor report look more irregular because
It
we already know it
does.
because it's all of a sudden like, hey, we're missing a bunch of money. Oh, wait, we won the lottery.
it's timing of when those bills are actually prepared. Sometimes they're prepared on the
Yeah, I
31st, and sometimes
understand.
the 1st, and I actually book it when she bills. So,
Sure. I totally get it. It just,
Okay, yeah, those are nice.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Nice, good job.
Very
yes,
nice.
it's really,
Mhm.
really.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Excel's great. That is there. You just hit one button and boom, you get a graph.
And it is
It's in color.
And
Yep.
I love it.
very nice.
Okay,
Any questions? Okay.
good job.
Oh,
Find us more money.
I
Okay.
Thank you.
Development Services Monthly Report.
So this is a new report for us.
Did I?
It's there. I mean, we did every permit that was asked for, plus just every permit that we issue. We put year-to-date numbers versus this year and last year. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. We also included the short-term rental registration numbers by the month that they've been registering. We think in the future, once the compliance portion of that gets more underway, I think we'll be able to provide additional reports from that portion of the software system too, that'll be helpful. And then we've included the number of code enforcement cases that were used. So we did have a question because most of our code enforcement cases are not in a written form, because most of those are, high grass and weeds, we call and talk about it, or there's a trash can out, we call and we tell them, they move it, and we get compliance that way. Most of them are handled through phone calls. That it would actually take more time to log that into a system than it would be to just call and get the situation.
And I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I think just if there's a more than complaint, like you call, hey, you got a weed lot and it goes into violation, you have to write a ticket or whatever, that would be where.
And that's the ones that you'll see in the
Yes.
report where everything that's on this report was not handled, was not rectified with just a phone call. It escalated past that point.
Correct. And that's ones I think we need to know about.
Correct.
Not
And
the
that's
other
what you've
ones.
got on that paper right there.
Perfect.
But just know that this is not a representative sample of what's actually being done in there on a daily basis.
This is just a support
This is
update.
everything has been escalated.
This helps out. This really, gives.
Could you put a footnote in there about that so it never gets misunderstood in the future?
Sure.
So this is the actual short-term rental registration numbers were for 18.
Yeah, that's a lot. Getting there.
Does that get a lot of the single owners?
Yeah, so I think that we're probably still missing some from the property management companies, just because they are rather large. The
Yeah.
system, everybody learning the system and how it works. We're still seeing these 1 and 2s get registered through property management companies, but I would say for the most part, this 202 number represents the individual ones. We're starting now to get hotel motel tax checks sent in the old way, and
Yeah.
we verify, and some of those haven't been registered. So at this point, we're
That's
starting to
catch
catch
them.
a lot of people that were paying hotel motel tax that weren't registered.
So how easy it's gonna be, say like this owner gets mad at Steve DeWitt over here and he changes to here, how, is that
So-
taking it off one and putting it in another? I mean,
Yeah, and that's
does it
what
automatically
we
do that?
struggled with that with the old paper forms. So
Yeah.
anytime a property management company changed, that did not require a new registration, but that did require them to fill out the form and get that back into us. We would take that form and manually enter it into the computer to make that change.
Okay.
Now, they can either call us and then we assign them a workflow that has them change it in the computer, or if they are familiar enough with the system, they can go in and just make that change without ever even talking to us.
Oh, okay.
So the system's updated, but we don't have to be involved.
Yeah, that's good.
That sounds great.
What about
It is
the
it's helpful.
I called you about the reporting number and you said it's gonna be a local 361.
It is, and we made all of the changes. There were some things that we wanted to change in the script that they weren't able to do, that they are going to accommodate. That's going to take a little bit longer. So we're going to go ahead and approve the script as it is now. They're going to start implementing that. That should go live, I would say, within the next week, maybe 2 weeks at the most. And that is going to be a local 361 number. It's going to be strange. It's not going to be a Port Aransas 749 number,
Yeah.
but I think people are, once they save it in their phone, that's all.
And it's also reportable on a web page as well, Nicole, or is it?
It is. Mhm.
So
So that's going to, yep. So you can make that report. Either you can go online and make that report, or you can make the phone call. And either way, it's going to be reported and in the system.
See, this is the one place social media might actually be nice to publicize this. Yeah. Any other ways that you're going to publicize it? Are you thinking?
I
of?
think that we'll ask the Jetty to do a pretty good article about it. And to your point, I think that Facebook is probably going to be the way to get that out to the majority of the Port Aransas crowd.
Okay.
On the website. I mean, in any way we can, in any way you guys think of it, we're more than happy to get that out there.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we are Daniel.
EMS.
Finally.
Daniel's up in Austin.
Yeah, he's in Austin
Yeah.
right now at Ems Conference. Yes, sir. So I was going to say good evening, but I think I'll just say good night. My name's
Good
Alex
night.
with EMS. Like I said, Daniel's at the EMS conference, bringing back a lot of good stuff to us. I'm filling in for the evening for him upon his request. I know we all want to get home, so I'll make this pretty brief. Let's get you all caught up on the month of March, okay? So currently, at the time this meeting started, we were at 330 calls. We've had about 4 calls since then, so we'll say 334. Dispatched 110 calls in the month of March. That's up 18% over last year at this time's call volume. We continue to see increase in calls year after year. I'm sure you guys are already aware of that. One good thing to note, our average response times have decreased substantially. So right now, our average response time is about 4 minutes and 55 seconds. That's about half of the national average, which is 8 minutes. So
Keep
you
up
can
the
say,
good work.
thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, you can say half, or we're twice as good as the national average, whatever, however you want to say it.
Policy changes that are just.
Not really. It's just kind of, everyone's been doing their part. We have a lot of really good new people who've kind of stepped up, and I think that's
We
a
also
big
live
part
in a
of it.
small town and they're centrally located. That helps a
Well,
lot.
I know that, but I mean.
Definitely that for sure. And it's also the location of calls too. This is still including the mutual aid that we have with Tri-County. So if we stopped including that, they'd probably be about 4-minute average response time. So let's see what else. We have transported 52 patients. 35 patients were refusals, simple stuff like jellyfish stings, where a lot of times we get there and they're already starting to feel a little bit better. Minor fender benders, minor golf cart accidents, stuff like that. We've been canceled on 11 calls. Those are something like distressed swimmers, missing children who've later been found. Requests and standbys, 3, something like maybe a fire standby. Public assist, 9, those are generally like lift assist. We call, you fall and you can't get up, we call, there's nothing wrong with you, you don't want to go to the hospital, we come and we pick you up and put you back in your bed or on your
You might
on
need
your
to
couch.
do
or
that
something.
tonight, perhaps.
Right, yeah, shoot, probably some of the guys at the station too, they've been running nonstop since I've been here.
Well,
We've had 2 mutual aid calls over at Tri-County. Spring break went very well for EMS. The call volume was up, but the number of critical calls was down. So that's always good. We don't like to see people, getting hurt. 29 calls to the beach, 66 calls total during spring break. Protocol rewrite has been complete, and I'm proud to say that Port Aransas EMS will continue to have one of the most aggressive protocols in the state of Texas. So that's something that we can all be proud of, especially being so far out here, 35, 45 minutes to the hospital. There's a lot of stuff that we need to get done, and we're full MICU capable now. So
still
it's a good
having a
thing.
lot of trouble getting in the hospital.
Yes. So yeah, that's another thing on this agenda item. So we've been transporting more to Rockport recently, mainly because we can get in and out, and it's actually about 10 minutes closer. The hospital, I think they don't seem to know that sometimes. They're like, you're coming all the way from Port Aransas, but it's actually our closest hospital. Yeah.
It's nice when they ferry form. They just
The
take them
ferry,
right
you just go right
Yes.
across, right?
Yes.
You get the instant, the
Oh,
on-demand
yeah, and that's the nice
access.
thing. Yeah, we don't have to deal with that bridge going over Flower Bluff, so it's real nice. Let's see what else I got for you. So going back to the protocol thing, we've our monitors and our ventilators have been ordered, and we look forward to getting those probably by the beginning of next month, and we'll start doing training on those. It's a lot of training involved in those.
How's the flooring?
Great, actually, yes. Thank you for asking. Yeah, much better. Those guys did a really good job.
Good.
Couldn't understand what they were saying, but they did
Right.
an amazing job. They're from Alabama. Yeah. Let's see. Still nationwide drug shortage of Epi and D50. Those are 2 pretty critical medications, and we have a lot of diabetics and a lot of cardiac arrest and heart problems that need Epi. So we're trying to do everything, even going through other vendors and stuff to get those medications. And unfortunately, there's really not much we can do except wait until they make it. And
Epi is
hopefully-
the EpiPen, epinephrine.
Yes, yeah, allergic reactions,
Yeah,
cardiac
got
arrest, stuff like that. We use it quite often.
I imagine. I just
Yeah. We have our EMS conference coming up. We have attendance like never before, about 225 people
And
coming.
that's down here.
Down here, yes, ma'am. Yeah, actually right in here.
And we will be getting some nice AC porta potties.
Yes, I heard about that. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Right.
But you know,
Rentals.
we have people calling from all over Texas and really all over the country that want to come down. The big one is in Dallas, and a lot of people are saying this is going to be the new big EMS conference. So it looks really good for the city and for us really to be able to put that on.
Awesome.
A lot of effort though, gosh.
That's really all I got for you. Y'all are welcome to pop in anytime at the EMS conference, say hi, see what it's all about. Yeah, thanks for having me
Thanks
up
so
here.
much.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for hanging.
Keep up the good
Hi,
work.
Daniel.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out.
Okay, we got a fire.
Fire, no, I'll read
No.
fires. Real brief on the fire. March call outs were 24 compared to 17 and 21. So call numbers up a little bit. No major equipment on order. Number 2 engine was delivered last month. I think you guys saw the pictures of that one. One new member, Noah Swindell, and no training just yet. And there's a list of their fire calls for March, for March.
Mock. That's what I feel like, mock. Okay, and you're gonna do the gas?
Oh, yeah. So gas is a new one. You guys haven't seen gas. So
No.
this is from Mitch Ortiz. Some of the highlights from Mitch. Significant increase from 2017 with 944 active customers to 2021, 14. So pretty
That is
big,
good.
Wow.
nearly a 50% increase over the last 5 years. So they've installed 556 new service lines since 2017. Now, a lot of those are Harvey damaged ones that were being rebuilt. So increase of 56% to date. You know, also all the big subdivisions to the south, it's a mandate that all new subdivisions have gas. So that's why you're seeing, so Cinnamon
Oh,
Shore,
really? What's
yeah.
the mandate
the
from?
mandate is that you have to,
Who made the mandate?
The city did because they want you to use their gas.
city did.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to install a gas system in your subdivision.
It's monopoly, but it's a forced
Yeah.
monopoly on the constituents.
So with all this new added workload, Mitch probably this summer will be coming to you guys for some increased personnel. And Darla, do you think we would be able to absorb that within their budget, or it'll be close?
Depends, it'll be close.
Yeah,
So so do we need to look at fees then possibly then?
yeah, Darla can touch base real quick doing a piece of rate study after that.
Yeah, we're probably gonna be talking about trying to do a rate study in the next month or two. The distribution system is gonna be,
When was our
Keeping up.
last one? Do you remember?
no, we haven't done one since I've been here.
Okay.
Not an
Typically
external,
done every 5
not an
years.
external rate study. We've not done. We've done internal several times and we've done some increases, but yeah, we actually have done some pricing on some consultants and it's really not too bad. We can get it done probably for 20 to 25, we believe.
That's a good price.
It's a good price.
And they really should be done every 5 years.
Yeah, no, we really need to do one. So if
This is before I bought it, but they have.
you have any more questions about that?
Thank you.
Thanks, Darla.
Okay, is it the last police report?
Oh, that's right.
Always say the best for last.
Very good.
Yeah.
Keeps us away.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
sir.
Keeps us going.
This is
Oh
the
my
best I
God,
want for the
I think
win.
I'm gonna die. Have we ever had a meeting till midnight?
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have.
We're getting close.
We also had a lot that ended at 6 or 6:15, so it was-
I don't remember those.
that was.
I don't remember
That was
those.
the Keith McMullen era.
I just want you to know before you get started, we used to have people coming up saying, can we start the meeting at 7 so people can show up? So we'd be here till 2 in the morning. If that were the
Oh.
case.
All right, keep
Sorry, go
going.
on.
T.
So anyway, big biggie for March is, of course, spring break, and I think we can officially call it a trend on what we're seeing with our spring break activity. It's been very consistent. It was funny, we had just one week of spring break this year. State called it 2, but the first week there was there's
Nothing really.
like Baylor, Texas Lutheran, and
Schools know when the right now too.
yeah.
The good schools, the good kids.
So we're that vending, and it's funny because we, over time, we average about 100 arrests a week during spring break. And this year, even though we had twice as many people in the 1 week, we were still right around that 100 number.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Well, bad weather also helped chase away the first week too.
And then we extended a job offer today to a kid, he's a 10-year veteran from the Midland Police Department. And we're gonna target this,
Midland?
assuming we can get him through, well, he's used to the sand. Assuming we can get him through the background, we're looking to start him around the 15th of June.
Excellent.
So, and we've got 5 interviews set up for next week also.
So how many openings do you have?
I've got 5. One of them, we've got a new job offer out with this kid from Midland. And I've got one that's an employee that's on an extended leave that will come back when he gets his issues taken care of. So somewhere between 3 and 5, officially 5, but we got asterisks next to 2 of those names. So that's where we are. And we are getting applications, but we're just not getting the quality applications. We had the state police use conference last week. Same thing everywhere in the state. Nobody wants to be a cop anymore. So
Great.
the applications are.
I don't think anybody wants to see anything anymore, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to do anything, but
Wanna
it's
be
just
one
like.
here instead of the big city.
Well, everyone wants to be firemen now. Fort Worth's going to run 6 academies next year. So the fire department. So.
What's up with all the bail jumpers?
Those, well, and you'll see a bunch this month also, because those are the ones that don't show up for court.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're no.
Through the FTA.
Oh.
Got it.
You prosecuted 51 rounds here?
Yes.
In the spring?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Good.
And
Lot
less than
of,
4 hours.
Any?
You're like,
Within 4 hours?
guilty.
And we're interviewing for the second parking enforcement position tomorrow. So hopefully by around Memorial Day, give or take a week or 2. It's a pretty quick training process.
Market enforcement to add a second one.
Oh, really?
It's gonna be hard to
We'll have
find one as
somebody,
good as the one
Hopefully
you
7
have.
days a week.
They
instead
better
of
be
just
able to keep up with.
with Alex.
He's awesome.
He may apply for the second position, get a full-time job.
Don't work 2 shifts.
I think he's good.
Thank you, sir. Keep up the good work.
Thank
Rest off
you.
bad guys.
And thanks for staying with us. Public Works?
Okay, mainly Public Works, and Tim can attest to this. Great job on Sandfest.
Oh, they did.
They really worked hard, and it's all hands on deck to get that thing
That
pulled off.
water, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so a lot of effort on Sandfest, and well, they went from spring break with a real short turnaround and then right into Sandfest. So yeah, and then Easter, and now they're getting signs ready, and we got Memorial Day right around the corner, so it's coming quick. So
We still have a piece of equipment out getting painted, correct, or is it back now?
no, it's still at Carriage Works getting painted, the motor grader.
Yeah. When will it?
Should be ready. They'll give me an update, and I can't put, I don't know.
Before.
Yeah. So, yeah, so that's mainly just spring break and Sandfest there.
That's it.
Yeah, the reports were really good and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good. Hope they help.
Yeah.
Okay, city council comments and items for future consideration. No.
Nope.
That's
So
it.
long, and thanks for all the fish.
Meeting is adjourned. Oh, boy. And put your, we're supposed to turn these into the city manager if he wants them. To read what we think about him. And what we think you should do and how you're gonna do it. We're gonna have to figure out a way to get it done. Get it done.
So you want me to take like a not Sharpie, like a highlighter and just mark the street?
Right here.
Mainly you see things missing.
Luke, are you
Like-
invite?
Like missing as in,
Yeah.
like asphalt?
Like if you find one and if you find a pothole.
Oh, missing from the list.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
We said missing like
Yeah.
missing asphalt or
No,
missing roadway or tree ends all of a sudden in the lake.
It's too late to even eat.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
You all right, Dave?
Yeah.
Got it? I know, I'm gonna leave it right there like that.
Yeah. We'll let everyone get out.